Wan'Dale. You know, how if you watched a lot of college football since the season kind of resumed?
Yeah, definitely. Once college football started, I was watching every week. We were watching every weekend, so it was really easy to watch college football games. But then again, it was hard at first whenever knowing that we weren't playing. But it's really exciting knowing that we're going to play now.
And what did you see from other offenses, good or bad, that you liked or disliked?
Definitely, I like the offenses that spread the ball around and kind of use guys that are similar to myself. I just like offenses that put up a lot of points and seeing different defenses and see what they do to try to stop guys similar to me and see if other coaches are taking advice from those guys too. So,
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Brandon Kavanaugh with Athlon Sports.
Hey there, Wan'Dale. How you doing? Good. So, hey, obviously folks are looking to you to be an impact player, but who are a few guys that haven't really gotten much spotlight yet that you personally feel are going to be names that we all know come the end of the year?
I definitely think Cade Warner, Wyatt Lever, Levi. There's some tight ends that are really popping out. Some of the running backs are doing really well. Both of our quarterbacks are doing extremely well. Alante Brown, he's done really well. He's just been nicked up a little bit, but everybody's looked really, really well. It doesn't really look like a receiver room to where you can say this is a guy that's on scholarship, this is a guy that's a walk-on. Everybody kind of looks just like everybody's on scholarship and everybody can play.
Appreciate it, man. Stay healthy.
Our next question comes from Brian Christopherson, Nebraska 24/7.
Hey, Wandale. How have you tried to take some of those newcomers under your wing now that you're one of the old guys, quote unquote, I guess? And what have you seen from Xavier Betts and Marcus Fleming in particular? We were talking to Coach Lubick about them a little bit. How have they developed? Where are they at?
They're coming along. It was a little bit of work getting them to where they needed to be, but they're coming along really, really well. It was just kind of getting in their ears a little bit, and I've tried to take those two under my wing just to really help them understand the offense and just everything that comes with being a football player in Nebraska and everything you might have to do. So it's been really good being with those two guys and all the other newcomers as well.
One more quick one, if I can. Levi Falk is a guy we keep hearing about. What has jumped out to you about him and how he can maybe help this group right away?
He's came in and learned the offense. He knows what he's supposed to do. He blocks on the perimeter, which is something that Coach Lubick harps on a lot. And then he's just made plays whenever he's had the chance. So he's taking advantage of all of his opportunities.
Now we go to Derek Peterson with Hale Varsity.
Hey, Wan'Dale. As you've looked back at your freshman year, what are some areas that you want to improve on moving forward?
Definitely just being healthy. That's number one. And then me being a complete receiver, being able to play outside, inside, really not having to come off the field. Even if they need me to get in the backfield for some things, I can do that. So just being healthy was a really big part so I could really flourish and do what I wanted to do.
How do you help that in the off season? Like, is there a way that you can, I guess, keep yourself healthy? Because like everybody talks about, like a skill is keeping yourself healthy. How do you do that in practice?
It's just being smart, taking care of my body, making sure I'm in the cold tubs, hot tubs, getting any type of treatment I might need on any little nicks. Just being overprotective over my body. Last year I was a little lenient with it and I didn't really know what to expect, but now going through a year of college football, I know exactly what I needed to do to make sure that my body's healthy for each and every game.
Our next question comes from Evan Bland with the Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Wandale, I was just curious, now that you're, focusing on just receiver as opposed to moving all over the field, what are some benefits of that? What are, just some ways that you can kind of hone your craft when you're focusing just as a wide receiver?
It's a little bit of the same because I always like to know both and have everything I wanted to know with both. So now I'm getting a little bit of more just technique stuff and being able to watch a lot more DBs, just focusing on DBs, not really linebackers and things like that, and just the skills of my routes and the depths and just trying to look at things through quarterbacks and just whatever they need me to do to get open and so I'm in the spots for them.
Next question is from Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Wan'Dale, I'm curious. You talked obviously very highly of Luke McCaffrey, basically since you've been on campus. And what have you seen from him over the course of this offseason, and what has allowed him to put himself in a situation where he's making a difficult decision for the coaching staff in terms of, who the number one quarterback is?
It's just a testament to how much work Luke's put in. During the offseason, I'm sure he was with his brothers working. I know he was watching film, doing everything he can just to become a complete quarterback. That was obviously something that he felt like he needed to probably step up in, was the passing game. And so, which in our scrimmages and things like just in practice, you can tell he's taken 10 steps in that phase of the game. And so he's looked really, really good all throughout practices and everything.
Our next question comes from Andy Kendi, KETV.
Hey, Wan'Dale. Hey, it came out today. You guys are a big underdog against Ohio State. Not surprising, given the Buckeyes are so talented. But do you guys talk amongst yourself about the opportunity in front of you, being a 3-touchdown underdog going a week from Saturday?
I mean, all right, they can have it. That's kind of how I look at it. At the end of the day, there's not 21 points on the board already, 0-0. So whoever comes out and plays the best, whoever comes out and fights, that's how I look at it. We don't really care too much about the favorites or anything like that. We just got to come out and play football and play our game.
Thank you.
Got time for about 2 more. Our next question comes from Margaret Silhasek with the Big Ten Network.
Hey, Wan'Dale. So kind of after a breakout freshman season where you kind of made a name for yourself, how are you handling kind of the pressures that come with sophomore year, taking on more of a leadership role, and kind of the expectation and pressures that come with kind of like Husker fans and even your team and maybe even yourself?
Well, luckily I was kind of in this position when I was in high school, kind of my freshman year, and then going into high school and going into my sophomore year. It's just a little bigger level of things, but I just try to keep the same approach I've always had with football. Just at the end of the day, stay down, work, and do my job, and everything else will take care of itself. Obviously, I know I have to be a better leader, just being older and everybody kind of looking up to me, but that's what it comes with.
And our last question for Wan'Dale comes from Connor Happer, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, Wan'Dale. Coach Lubick talked last week about attention to detail, and it seems like he's kind of that type of guy. What have you noticed as far as that effect? What has that had on the offense and its crispness so far? I guess, what is your 40,000-foot view of the offense right now?
Much better than at the beginning of the year last year. Now we just know exactly what we needed to do. Everybody knows the spots they're supposed to be in. Coach Lubick's a really big – that's his really big thing, is making sure every detail's correct. You're at the right spots. The quarterbacks know where you're going to be. So making sure that we're running full speed and you're giving all your effort. And so if he feels like if you can do that, then at the end of the day we can win football games.
Okay, thank you, Wan'Dale, and we will have Cade Warner shortly.
All right, thank you.